Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by myself, Thomas F Chappell Jr. of the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. So we're coming to the end of this whole program here, and I wanted to ask a couple of things real quick. One, how can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, if you Google How to ADU. It's the name of the YouTube channel, the TikTok, the website, everything. And you can book a call with me. I do free calls every Friday if you just have short questions. Those get it booked out in advance, quite a ways. And then I do paid consults. If you ever want me to spend an hour diving into their project with you, then you could do that. But most of my knowledge is available for free online. So watch those YouTube videos. If you're on TikTok or in Facebook, find it there. How to ADU.
Okay, so how many live events do you attend?
I don't have enough time to do as many as I'd like. I'm probably gonna do four this year, like a quarterly kind of setup, where I'm part of the event. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do understand that you are going to be a part of an event in November in Riverside, California, speaking about ADUs and things of that nature. So, um, would people be interested that follow you to come to the event just to hear you speak live?
Absolutely. Nothing beats in person, right? Like, yeah, if you're in Riverside or in the area, that's going to be a great opportunity because we'll have a lot of people really applying themselves. As soon as you meet in person, like you bust out the pencils, you talk about real properties, you can dive into the details and kind of you learn a lot very quickly. So I always love an in-person event. I would strongly encourage anybody if you didn't mind listening to me on this show for an extended period of time, you're gonna love seeing an in person. And plus, I bring wine in person, right? That's
Oh,
more fun.
okay. Well, I don't drink, but I mean, quite sure those who do. So that might
That's
be
it. That's
interesting. I
it.
mean, is it your own brand or is it just what?
Yeah, yeah. So I helped start a company called Naked Wines back in the day. I might have some of my parents' wine too. They make wine over in France, but what I'll definitely have is some of the Naked Fare, the wines that I helped make at that company.
Okay, so get some wine, some cheese, and some crackers and call it a
That's it.
DAY.
That's it. I'm much more fun if you're drinking.
Well, I take some cranberry because that's what I'll do.
I'll bring some cranberry too. Then fine. That's good. That's good.
So, do you know or are you aware of any type of communities that are being built outside of the backyard?
Yeah, I love all these more innovative housing projects because that's part of the bigger part of the solution. Like ADUs are one arrow in our quiver, but there's a cool project in Oakland, so kind of my backyard, where they're doing these tiny house villages. So in that one, the kitchen and bathroom is kind of a big shared facility in the center, kind of like a college dorm. But then everybody's got their bedroom in an individual tiny house on the perimeter. So you have the cheap part to build, bedrooms. You have a lot of privacy, and then you have the more expensive part, kitchen and bathroom. That's a big shared facility, and so it lets you save a lot of money while creating housing, which is great for people who are just coming out of college or who are the one in Oakland that I'm thinking about is actually for kids leaving the foster care system. It creates a kind of 2 year buffer where they can integrate and figure out their housing situation without immediately getting dumped into one of the most expensive housing markets in the state and in the country. So really cool projects like that that are fundamentally changing the way we think about how we build housing and what it costs to give housing to people. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. Question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a lot of RV parks that are out there now? I'm seeing a lot of them coming up, and I mean, they're making these communities wonderful. That
Absolutely.
people want to
And
sit there and for a lot of retirees that just want to travel the world in their RV.
yeah, absolutely. There's, you know, we have a funny situation in the U.S. where basically we got one idea of what good housing looked like in the 1950s, and I put that in like big air quotes, right? Like it's a very old fashioned idea of what a house can do for a family, and unfortunately, that's dominated what we've built and what we've created for ourselves and our idea of what a good luxurious life looks like. What we're seeing now is more and more cool ideas that actually serve people and give them what they want. And that can be amazing amenities, shared amenities. It could be a great walkable community so that you don't need a car for everyday errands. It can be RV parks. It can be tiny home villages. It can be just a huge number of alternatives that are surging up, and I love them. I think that that's the future that I hope to usher in for California and for the rest of the country, because it's gonna do more work for people. It's gonna create more safety. It's gonna create more fun, and I just love it. Yeah.
One more thing. What do you think about mixed uses that are going on, where
Oh
people are
yeah, sure.
doing retail at the bottom and residential on top?
I am super excited about mixed use. There are two bills in the state right now, and shockingly, it looks like they'll both go through, and they will create the opportunity to do by right permits on housing in commercial zones that meet certain standards. And man, that is as big a game changer as accessory dwelling units was. We're going to see, if these laws go into effect, we're going to see thousands of units in very good positions in nice mixed use spaces where you've got the bodega on the first floor, you've got housing on the second floor, you have a little office park on the first floor, you have housing above it. And that's going to create vibrant, walkable communities. It's going to be good for the environment. It's going to be good for the residents. It's going to stop displacement, and it's just going to be great. I have a lot of hope for that future. Absolutely, love mixed use.
That's good. That's good. So, basically, in a nutshell, is that not to be insensitive, but COVID has revolutionized the housing industry because we have a very very bad housing problem here in this country, and it shouldn't have to be that way. I understand that um, government is doing what they can, but it's really up to us as a people to come together and help solve this homeless crisis. And that's one of the things that I do with my real estate club that I have, and also with the show, is that instead of investors buying a house here and a house there, why not we just buy up a community? Let's buy a town, and that way we can be able to set affordable housing for those who can afford them, as well as for the homeless. I mean, because you have a very, very bad crisis that are going on, and now you don't have a lot of people working because they're getting tired. You know what I'm saying? I mean, COVID had just revolutionized this country to where everybody's looking to make big, big changes in this world. You know,
That's
so
it. It
I'm loving what you're doing. I'm really loving what you're doing.
back at you, Thomas.
I'm loving it. So once again, let people know how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, you just Google how to ADU, and you'll find me on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and my website. You can book a call if you want to talk to me in person. I'd love to help you, but use those free resources as much as you can. Share them with your friends and family who are thinking about developing an ADU, and just see if it's a good solution for you. Start exploring those ideas, because there's a lot coming down the pipe, like Thomas talked about. We need big solutions, so you might be part of it.
All right. And to get in contact with me, you can go to all of my social media pages under my name, Thomas F. Chappell Jr., or BIEREIC. I have a website, BIEREIC.com. I have my meetings, which is open to everybody. I'm virtual right now, but for everybody on the East Coast, it starts at 6 p.m. Everybody on the West Coast, it starts at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. on the East Coast every third Wednesday of the month. You can come and check us out. I'll go live next year. The radio show is every last Sunday of the month. For East Coasters, starts at 4 p. West Coasters, it starts at 1 p. You can contact me by calling me at 404-844-1828. Ryan, I really appreciate you giving us the time to get to know who you are and get to be able to contact, and all the content that you're doing. Please don't stop. Keep it going. We want to thank everybody for listening to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me. You guys have a wonderful time and a wonderful week, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.